What the heck is this? No way. How come a shut-in like yourself has all of these high-end cosmetics? It's like trying to get a pig to wear a pearl necklace or something, right? From now on, I'm going to be using all of this high-end stuff for you. A shut-in loser like yourself is better off just using that cheap lotion like crap that you can get at the dollar store. Or better yet, don't even bother using anything at all because you're too ugly for it to cover up anyway. I think as a shut-in, though, your looks don't matter to you anyway, do they? Hey, Aisha, what are you going on about? Calling me a shut-in and making comments about how I'm like some kind of pig? As far as I'm aware, I'm free to use whatever kind of cosmetics I want, no matter what I look like. But how can a neat like you use all of these really high-end brands when you barely even go outside your house? I think I'm going to take all of these for myself now since they'll be better utilized by me. Wait a second, how do you even know about the kind of cosmetics I've been using? You're talking about them like you're in my house right now looking at them. Uh-oh, so you finally realized that now. I've actually been in your place all day today, and from today onwards, this place is going to be our home. What? What do you mean by my house becoming our home now? This place that you've been living in, Haiti, is going to be given to us now. So I'm going to go ahead and start packing up all your things for you so that you can screw off to someplace else. And once you've found a place to move into, let me know so that I can be the generous and kind girl that I am and help you. Wait. What are you actually talking about right now? You think I'm just going to let you and my brother have that place? You have no right deciding something like that all on your own, Aisha. Yeah, sure I don't. This must be such a tough time for a shut-in like you. Having to get kicked out of your parents' place where you've been living rent-free for years now. But I find that this might be just the perfect opportunity for you actually, since you'll finally be forced to find a job. I'm telling you right now that it isn't cool for a woman your age to still be some kind of unemployed freak. Excuse me? Oh, and by the way, your brother and I only brought over a few cardboard boxes, so anything that doesn't fit is being tossed. Bye-bye now. Hey, Mason, what the hell is going on right now? Aisha just told me that you both are going to be taking the place from me and living there from now on.
Hey, Haiti, I know that you're a neat and all, but this gaming PC you have in your room is freaking amazing. I've been playing Apex on it all day, and the gameplay is so smooth and the thing never crashes on me. I've been able to take out so many enemies today, it's not even funny.
Are you serious right now? Who do you think you are going into my place with Aisha like that and using all my stuff? You're literally invading my home.
Invading? Why would you use a harsh word like that? This is Mom and Dad's house, not yours, which means I can come and go from here whenever I please. And another thing, how dare you keep all of this away from me? I had no idea that you were the one to inherit all of this stuff.
I thought that you and I split Dad's things fairly between you and I after he passed away. Which means you knew all the things I was getting and I knew all the things you were getting.
Then what is all this from? I never remembered you getting this gorgeous house in the inheritance. I'm guessing you hid all of this from me so that I'd never become aware, right? How dare you do that to your own brother?
I never tried hiding it from you.
I thought in the agreement that we'd be selling all of Dad's things when he passed away, and then we'd split all the money from him in half. But it looks to me like you hid this house from me and took it all for yourself. I had no idea that my own little sister could be so damn sneaky.
Hold on a second. Calm down there, Mason. I think you're having a huge misunderstanding of what that place is.
What misunderstanding are you talking about? You've been the one getting to live a luxurious life all by yourself in this house. What's so hard to understand about that? How come you get to live this lavish, neat lifestyle with Dad's house and his money while I'm still having to work and crap? I won't allow you to have all of this by yourself anymore.
First of all, I am not a neat. Second of all, I never hid anything from you after Dad died. Now, would you please listen to my side of the story so that you'll stop yelling? I'm on my way home right now, so we can talk about everything when I'm there, okay?
I don't want to hear any of your fake excuses, Haiti. I knew something like this was going on, and that's why I waited with Aisha for the rare moment that you'd be out of the house and swooped in. I knew that you'd be leaving for a bit to go overseas so that you could use up more of the money Dad left for you, but too bad because that trip to wherever the hell just cost you your secret house.
I see. So, you found out about how I'd be out of town for a few days and used that time to break in? And for the record, I wasn't overseas vacationing or anything like that. I was away on a very serious business trip.
What? There's no way a shut-in like yourself would ever be on a business trip. Now stop pretending like you have such an important job, or any for that matter. I know that you've been living off Dad's money this whole time, and that's why it's my turn to live that way.
What?
You and all the other unemployed losers in this world. If Dad were to find out about what you've been doing, he'd be crying his eyes out up in heaven. He would have to hear about how his daughter went and deceived his son and took his house from him as well as the money. I bet if he were still around, he'd have kicked you out of this place a long time ago. But since he's not here anymore, I'll do the job instead. You'd better start looking for a new place to go on your way home, because this place is mine now.
Aisha, is my brother around you right now? I have been calling him repeatedly, but he hasn't been answering any more of my calls. I really need to talk with him to clear up this misunderstanding he has about my dad's house and the other things, so could you please tell him to answer his phone? Of course he's not going to answer his phone to you. Listening to whatever excuses a shut-in like yourself can make up is a waste of time. So how about instead of claiming that this is all a big misunderstanding, you begin to apologize to him? You went and secretly took his home from your dad after he passed away, even though Mason is your older brother and deserves to have it. Don't you find that a little unacceptable? I did not secretly get that house after my dad died, all right? Can you at least please listen to the story behind all of what happened? No thanks. Now, from what I've seen, a lot of the things inside this house are yours, so can I please take all the really fancy things? What? I didn't even notice this before, but all of your clothing is even brand apparel. I think I can wear any of what fits me, and then the rest of it I can sell for some good money. Wait, you're wanting my clothing now, too? Actually, I've already sold some of the clothes I didn't like on Mercari. And those dishes you had in the kitchen cupboard that looked really tacky, sold all of them, too, for a great price. Are you kidding me? You've already been putting some of my things up for sale? Well, at first I was just going to throw all the rest of your things out that didn't fit in those boxes. But when I started looking at all your things here, they all come from some really high-end brands. So I've started to list a lot of the things I don't want or need, and they've been selling little by little. This is insane, Aisha. Not only have you taken over my house, but now you've started to either take or sell all of my things without even asking? Oh, come on. All of the things in this house were bought with your dad's money, right? It's not like all of this stuff cost you anything, so who actually cares if I sell it all? I told you already that's not how I got all those things. All those cosmetics, that clothing, and those dishes were bought with my own money. And as for the house, it was never my dad's house. I bought it myself, and it's always been mine. Oh geez, stop lying already. Money acquired from a deceased parent doesn't make it your hard-earned money or anything. And both Mason and I know you lied about everything in order to get all of this from your dad. That's why now you're starting to freak out because this little old paradise is going to be taken away from you. I'm not freaking out. I'm just pissed that neither of you will listen to me right now. And hold on a second, didn't my brother get half of all the money my dad had? If you've both been wanting a house like that one so badly, then why not just buy your own place? There's no reason for you guys to be stealing mine now. Shut up already. When it comes to the family home, once the parents have both died, it goes to the oldest child. Why should Mason have to let his younger sister get the house he's entitled to? From now on, this house and everything inside it belongs to us. I see. Well, I guess it's pointless for me to try and say anything more to you. That's right, because this house was always meant for Mason and not some jobless loser like you. Do you understand that? We are living in this house starting today, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, I get it. And don't you ever show your face around the two of us again. Who would ever want to go around you guys or that house again? You guys have already tainted all my things and sold some of my stuff, so I don't care about it anymore. I'm going to end my rental agreement on the place and find myself an even more beautiful home to rent. What? Rental agreement? I told you this already, right? I never inherited that house from my dad after he passed away. I've had it from the very moment it was built and being rented out. And that's why I never could understand why both you and my brother were saying it was my parents' house. So, you've been renting this place? What do you mean by that? Isn't this supposed to be your family's home? The place your late dad purchased for you guys a while back, because that's what I was told by Mason. I heard that you guys used to have one house, but that your dad went and sold it last minute to come and live in this one with you and your brother. I see. So my brother has had the wrong idea about what all happened this whole entire time. No wonder he was having such a hard time believing me when I said the place has always been mine. So this was a misunderstanding on his part? What else has he misunderstood? Everything, I think. Sure, my dad used to own a house, and that's where we were all growing up in for a long time. But it was old and needed a lot of work done to it that he didn't want to pay for. So I suggested to him that it would be best if he sold the place and moved into an apartment. Around that time, my dad was getting ill and needed to visit the hospital more and more anyway. So being closer to the hospital and an apartment would be a lot better for him rather than having to drive an hour from home almost every day. The only issue was my dad had the money to get an apartment, but he never had the time to go out and look for one. So I took it upon myself to go looking, and I found that place and started renting it for him as a surprise. Why would you rent it for him if he had the money, though? Why not just find a place for him and use his money to rent it? Because I've made this place an office for my business, so it can all be written off during tax season. Renting the place myself for him was a major benefit to me, so I was never going to let him do it with his own money. And besides, I made sure that my dad saved all of his money for things like medical costs and such for himself. Wait, this is your office? But you don't have a job. You're just a NEET. No, I'm not. I work in the music industry and I run my business from my own home. And if you're wondering how I was able to afford to rent a place like that, it's because I'm making close to $200,000 a year with this job. Which is why I could afford that place and all of those brand goods. $200,000 a year? The only thing with my job is that it's not entirely all done from home, and that means I have to travel a lot, especially overseas on business trips like the one I was just on. And, well, this one was a serious trip, and I was really looking forward to coming home to relax. However, now my house is occupied by 2 home invaders. I'm going to have to start looking for a new place right now, and I have to make sure the next place is just as big so it can serve as my office and home. Wait a second. I'm having a really hard time keeping up with everything you're saying. You run your own business? And that earns you close to $200,000 a year? And this apartment wasn't inherited from your dad, but is a rental you've been renting all along? That's right. And the rent for a place like that is $5,000 a month. I could have gone with a cheaper place, but my dad happened to like living on the fancy side a bit more than I expected him to. So I made sure when looking for a place to only look at the nicest apartments near the hospital. $5,000 a month? That's way too expensive. The apartment Mason and I had was only $900 a month. Well, luckily for the both of you, you just went from paying $900 a month to having to pay $5,000 a month with your new home. I hope you can both enjoy it while you can. Enjoy it? We can't even afford this place. Mason and I both thought this place was already owned by your dad and that we wouldn't have to pay to live here. Well, thankfully, you still have all that money from my dad, so you should be just fine living there from now on, right? Anyway, I have to go now. I'm almost back to the US and need to look for places to live right now. Bye-bye.
Hey, Haiti, You're gonna be paying the rent on this apartment for us. If you're making $200,000 a year, then you can pay for this place no problem, right?
Huh? If you and your wife want to live there, then you and your wife need to pay. No way I'm still paying the rent there after being thrown out by the both of you. You still have that money from Dad, so there should be no issues, right?
You think I still actually have all that money? I had to use all that money from Dad paying off all my debt, so it's gone now.
Really? What kind of debt were you in exactly?
After getting all that money from Dad's inheritance, I went and started to invest it all in the stock market and things like that. But I had no clue what I was doing and was always losing all the money I put in. And somewhere in that mix, I started to bet on things like horse racing.
You really used all of that money from Dad on those things?
Yeah, that's right. I thought that by gambling a little on something besides the stock market, I'd be able to make back all that money and more. But instead, I lost everything. And that wasn't all. It was Dad's money I got, so I decided to live fancy for a little while with it. I just thought that I'd only spend what I had received, but before I knew it, I was in debt.
You're lying, right? I get that we split all his money in half, but that was still a lot of money you received. At least close to $100,000 like me, right?
And that is why I need you to pay this rent now. And if you really want to, you can keep calling this place your office so that you get something out of it too. Then we can all benefit from you paying for this place still, right?
I'm not paying for that place anymore, so you two figure out what the hell you're going to do. Whatever is left of my things will be picked up soon by some hired help. And once I have my things, I am never going to bother with either one of you or that apartment ever again. You're so mean, Haiti. I was wondering what this letter was that you sent to us, and it turned out to be you asking for our money. What the hell is this for? That is me asking for whatever money you earned after selling most of my things. You went and sold all my possessions online without my permission, didn't you? Which means you're going to have to pay me back for all of them now. But you asking for that money now is a problem. I just assumed you bought all that stuff with your inheritance. When I was selling it all, I didn't think it was actually yours. That kind of excuse isn't going to work here. I want you to pay me every cent of that amount, please. You're an asshole, Haiti. I am your older brother's wife of all people, and not just an in-law, but your sister-in-law. Yet you want to take my money now? I'm apologizing to you, so you should be forgiving me, right? I haven't heard you say sorry yet. And even if you were saying sorry, this problem is too big to be solved that way. Stop being so freaking cold to me. It's not our fault we misunderstood things. So just forget about what all happened and let's get along with one another again. Excuse me? Oh, that's right. If you wouldn't mind, I'd love to start helping you with your business. How does that sound? I'm sure it's pretty tough having to work a job like that all on your own, right? So I can start helping you out, and instead of having to pay me anything, you can just pay the rent on this place for us. What? Stop talking out of your ass over there. You're not worth paying $5,000 to employ. But I happen to listen to a lot of music, so I know a thing or two about it. I also happen to love karaoke. But when it comes to using a computer, I'm not too good at that, and I can't read music either. Who the hell would want to hire you then? All you keep doing is talking like an insane person, and you really need to shut it. If you both can't afford that rent, then leave the apartment at once. Why not just go back to that apartment you were paying $900 a month for? I understand why you might think we can do that, but we can't. We already had a little freak out and tried going back to that place, but our landlord was pissed at us. He told us that this was our second time falling behind on payments and that we needed to get all our things and move out immediately. Your second time? So that means you've already made late payments before on your old place? Had we been able to actually pay for that place on time, we wouldn't be in all this debt now, right? Wow. But there's no way we can pay him to live there now. Both myself and Mason quit our jobs before coming out here, so we aren't making any money anymore. What? Why did you both just quit your jobs? Because we both thought we could take this place over and never have to pay anything to live in it. And when it came to things like food and paying the bills for water and electricity, we'd get part-time jobs doing something easy. So that's why we both told our bosses we quit. You both are very optimistic, aren't you? So anyway, would you be able to help the both of us out? You both no longer have any parents around, so it's only you and Mason left, right? And that means no way would you be willing to abandon us, right? Well, I'm going to. I don't have any siblings anymore. I plan to move on from this and live life as a forever single woman who doesn't need a family. What? So you're not going to help us out then? You're not going to help us pay this rent? You think I want to help two strangers? I don't want anything to do with you both anymore. Which means from now on, I'm deleting both yours and Mason's contact info and blocking you guys. What did you say? If I don't do this now, I'm going to keep losing money having to waste time listening to you. Just like what's happening right now. I'm not wasting any of your time or money, though. I'm just asking for you to help us out a little here. You're making it sound like we're not worth your time right now, Haiti. Just because you're making more money than the both of us combined doesn't mean you can talk about us that way. But hasn't it been the both of you talking about me in such a poor way this whole time? You both have seemed to think that just because Mason is my older brother and you're his wife, you can do whatever you want to me. The only real difference is that he was born a few years earlier than me. And as for you, all you did was ride his dick well enough for him to want to marry you because there's nothing else about you worth marrying. Yet you both think that you have the right to talk to me like I'm some kind of neat and stealing all my dad's money and things. What? Who do you think you are talking to me like that? I think I'm a successful business owner talking to a spoiled little brat. But I can see that you don't want to listen to me anymore, and that's why I'm going to block you now. Which means you no longer have to bother with texting me anymore. What? Goodbye. I hope you both can find yourselves some jobs or a place to live that you can afford really soon. After that, I heard that both my older brother and his wife had to leave that place they took from me and go back to their old apartment they were asked to leave from. But of course, like the landlord already told them, they were not welcomed back and were told to go live on the streets for all he cared. And just like that, the both of them were homeless and without any jobs, otherwise called neats. I've heard that those two eventually found work at a convenience store part-time and have moved into a very cheap and small apartment. Despite that, I've also heard the debt my brother hasn't been getting taken care of any and is still on the rise. I guess neither of them have remembered that they need to pay all of that off, but who am I to care how they live their lives? As for myself and what I've been up to, I made the choice to move into a smaller apartment out on the coast. Here, I can be close to a beach where I can spend my free time relaxing, and I'm closer to the international airport, making it way easier for me to leave the country to go and see my clientele. I've also made sure not to tell anyone besides only my closest friends my new address, in an attempt to make sure neither Mason or Aisha can ever find out where I moved to.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Emily, are you okay? Sarah? Not really. I'm kind of in shock right now. I heard Jake left the house. How did you know? I haven't told anyone yet. Oh, is that so? Sorry. I must have mixed it up with a TV show I just saw recently. The show had a similar story where their husband just left. A TV show? That's oddly specific, but yeah, it's true. Jake's gone. What happened? Can you tell me more? When I woke up this morning, Jake was nowhere to be found. His clothes, his laptop, everything important just gone. He's not answering his phones or texts. I'm really worried, Sarah. That's terrible. Have you tried contacting anyone else? His friends or family? I called his company and they say he already quit. I had no idea he was even thinking about leaving his job. He quit his job too? Wow, this is serious. Do you have any idea why he might have done this? I don't know. We've been having some issues lately, but I never thought it would come to this. Issues? What kind of issues, if you don't mind me asking? Well, he's been really distant lately, always working late, barely talking to me when he's home, and I hate to say this, but I've had this gut feeling that he might be cheating. Oh, Emily, I'm so sorry you're going through this. Have you found any evidence of cheating? Nothing concrete, just a little feeling. Just little things. Mysterious texts, always guarding his phone, but I still love Jake very much. I can't believe he'd just leave like this. I understand you love him, but Emily, don't you think this might be for the best? What do you mean? Well, let's try to look on the bright side. Isn't this your chance for that divorce you've been wanting? Divorce? What are you talking about, Sarah? Come on, Emily. You and Jake have been fighting a lot lately, right? The last time we went out for drinks, you were complaining nonstop. You even said you might be better off divorcing him. I only said that because I was drunk. I didn't really mean it from the bottom of my heart. Sure, things have been tough, but I never seriously considered divorce. Are you sure about that? Because from where I'm standing, it seems like Jake's made that decision from you. I don't know. This is all happening so fast. I still can't believe he's really gone. I know it's hard, but maybe this is a blessing in disguise. You deserve better than someone who just abandoned you like this. But what if something bad happens to him? What if he's in trouble? Emily, he quit his job before disappearing. This was planned. He's not in trouble. He left you. God, when you put it like that, I feel so stupid. How did I not see this coming? Don't blame yourself. Sometimes we don't want to see the truth when it hurts. But now you need to think about it yourself. What am I supposed to do now, Sarah? I feel so lost. First things first, you need to protect yourself legally. Have you considered filing for divorce? Divorce? It feels so final, but I guess you're right. I need to think about myself now. Exactly, and who knows? This might be the fresh start you need. There are much better guys out there for you. You really think so? Absolutely. To be honest, I never thought you two worked out from the start. Really? Why didn't you ever say anything? It really wasn't my place, but since we're being honest now, you and Jake were never a good match. Jake is an elite employee at a big company, and you're, well... I'm what, Sarah? Well, you're just a temp worker who couldn't cut it in your last job. Don't you think that created a bit of an imbalance? Wow, I can't believe you'd say that. Is that really what you think of me? A failure? I didn't say you were a failure, Emily. I'm just being realistic. You quit your last job because of a workplace issue, and now you're barely getting by as a temp worker. Don't you think that might have contributed to your problems with Jake? I guess you're right. I am a failure in life. Is that why Jake got tired of me? Did he think I was a failure too? Now, don't be so hard on yourself. I'm sure that's not the only reason, but it probably didn't help. I feel so worthless right now. Maybe Jake was ready to leave me. Don't say that. Look, why don't you focus on moving forward? You should forget about Jake and look for a new happiness. If you divorce him quickly, I'm sure you'll have a much better future. You're right. I need to stop wallowing and do something. Thank you, Sarah. I'm feeling a bit better now. That's the spirit. Oh, by the way, I have some news that might cheer you up even more. What is it? Would you like to come to my wedding? Your wedding? You're getting married, Sarah? Yes, I'm sorry for announcing my marriage at a time like this, but since you're my childhood friend and I really want you to come, I think it might be a good change of pace for you. Oh, wow, congratulations, Sarah. Of course I'll attend your wedding. If it's my dear childhood friend's wedding, I simply have to celebrate it. When is it? It's actually quite soon, in 2 weeks to be exact. 2 weeks? That's so soon. I had no idea you were even dating someone seriously. Well, it's been a bit of a whirlwind romance, but when you know, right? I guess so. Wow, I can't believe you're getting married. Who's the lucky guy? Oh, I'll meet him at the wedding. I want it to be a surprise. A surprise? Come on, Sarah. You can't just leave me hanging like that. At least give me a hint. Nope, no hints. Just trust me, okay? It'll be worth the wait. Now, promise me you'll file those divorce papers ASAP. I want you to come by my wedding as a free woman, ready for new adventures. Okay. I promise I'll file for divorce. It's going to be hard, but you're right. I need to move on. That's my girl. I promise my wedding will be just the distraction you need. It'll be a day full of surprises. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for being here for me, Sarah. You're a true friend. Of course. That's what friends are for. Now go file those papers. Sarah, your wedding is beautiful. I'm so happy for you, but where's the groom? I still haven't met him. Oh, he'll be here any minute. In fact, here he comes now. Wait a minute, Jake. What are you doing here?
Emily, it's been a while. Thanks for coming to our wedding today.
Your wedding? What's going on? Where are you at Sarah's wedding? And where are you dressed like the groom?
Can't you tell by my outfit? Today's mine and Sarah's wedding. Thanks for divorcing me so we can make this happen.
What did you say? So you were really betraying me? Jake, I can't believe this person you were cheating with my childhood friend Sarah.
Isn't this more interesting than a normal reveal? Well, are you surprised? Our surprise was a huge success.
Don't give me that crap. What do you mean surprise success, you idiot? Don't act all happy after betraying someone.
It's a great reaction, as expected of Sarah's idea.
Sarah, don't you have anything to say to me? Do you know how I felt when the married life I was looking forward to suddenly disappeared? I was even worried about you when you were suddenly vanished.
Who cares about the feelings of a woman I left behind? Besides, I never asked you to worry about me.
You're the worst. You can't even say a single word of apology to me. How can you act like this after betraying someone?
Actually, I feel fantastic. I managed to smoothly divorce my low-level wife. I've succeeded in changing jobs and my salary has skyrocketed. On top of that, I got a wife who's way cuter than you.
What did you say?
You know I quit my previous job, right? Actually, I was headhunted by a famous foreign company. From now on, my salary will double to $200,000 a year.
It's increasing that much at once?
Well, I'm an excellent elite employee. It's only natural for me to be offered such a salary. But with such a high-level company, I need to level up myself too. I'm sure all the employees there have high-level successful wives. So I had to level up my wife to match them.
You're lying. You couldn't seriously have abandoned me for such a stupid reason.
It's a damn important reason. I heard that in my new company, they're often home parties at the boss's house. It's normal to bring your partner to those events, but if I brought you along, I'd be embarrassed. Unlike you, Sarah's cute and a great conversationalist. I'm sure she'll be useful for my career advancement.
Wow, Jake, I can't believe you're such a horrible person. To think part of me was worried about you even after the divorce. What a waste of time and energy. I hope you're happy with Sarah.
Oh, we'll be happy, alright. Even without you saying it. Anyway, enjoy the wedding today. It's your important childhood friend's wedding after all, right?
How was the surprise? Were you shocked? I bet you were floored by this unexpected reunion. Don't mess with me. You pretended to be so sympathetic and supportive, but all along you were secretly having an affair with Jake. I was quite the actress back then, wasn't I? Jake might laugh at me, but I even pretended to be worried about you. Maybe I should try out for some acting auditions. Come to think of it, you even knew about the divorce papers. I thought it was strange, but now it all makes sense. Thanks for being so easily guided into divorcing him. Thanks to you, I can now marry him and have this wedding. So I was just being played by the both of you? You were so funny back then. Even after the divorce, you keep thinking about Jake and crying. All your worrying and crying was for nothing. He's never coming back to you. I wish I could tell my past self that there's no need to cry over such a terrible man. I'm really sorry for stealing your husband. Don't worry, though. I'll be sure to enjoy your share of the happiness. Be a darling and give us your blessing, sweetie. By all means, I hope you're happy together.
What? Have you lost your mind? There's no way you actually meant that. Don't try to act tough, you dumb loser of an ex-wife.
That's not true at all. I'm wishing for your happiness from the bottom of my heart. Lord knows your newlywed life with $300,000 of debt isn't going to be easy for you. Work hard together and be happy, okay? What? $300,000 of debt? I can never handle that kind of newlywed life, but I'm sure you two will be fine. I'll be cheering on you as your childhood friend. What's going on? What's this debt about? Jake, do you really have such a huge debt? Huh? I guess it's hard to believe when you hear it so suddenly. Stop joking around and explain quickly. What's this $300,000 in debt? It's debt Jake accumulated from failed investments. He lost a lot of money and tried to recover by using even more money. As a result, he ended up with a total debt of $300,000. You've got to be kidding. Why don't you tell me about something so important? Because I only found out after the divorce. What? Really? I had no idea Jake was into investments. Then suddenly it's divorce and he leaves me. And next thing I know, debt collection notice starts arriving. This is really too much. Why didn't you tell me right away? You should have reported something that's important immediately. At the time, I didn't know you were the other woman, so I had no obligation to tell you he was the... But we're childhood friends, and we've always told each other everything since we were little. That's true, Sarah. That's exactly why I deliberately didn't tell you anything. Huh? It was my own way of being kind by not reporting it. I was already making my parents worry because of the divorce. I thought you were worried about me too. I didn't want to make everyone worry with me even more, so I didn't tell anyone about the debt. Not my parents, not you, not anyone. Kind? Kind's the last word I'd use to describe this. You screwed me over big time. By the way, the debt is all in Jake's name. I checked multiple times, and it seems I have no obligations to pay it after the divorce, so you and Jake worked hard on repaying it together. Okay? There's no way we can repay $300,000. Well, don't think about it. Difficult things for now. Today's your wedding day after all. I'll enjoy myself for today.
Hey! What's going on, Emily? Explain to me right now.
Huh? I'm the one who needs an immediate explanation. Suddenly canceling the wedding and sending everyone home. What's gotten into you? I was looking forward to it. What's going on?
There's no way we can have a wedding in this situation. Sarah is freaking beside herself. Why did you have to tell her about my debt? How am I supposed to have a wedding with a crying bride?
Oh no, was my surprise too extreme for her?
More importantly, answer me quickly. I was sure I pushed all the debt onto you, so why do I have to pay it?
Huh? You left a note with the divorce papers, remember? You said you'd give up your right to property division in exchange for me agreeing to the divorce ambiguity. That means I get all of your savings due to the prenup we signed, remember? Which means the $300,000 debt went to you, and your savings went to me.
Wait, what? I didn't think that was what the note meant. I was trying to extend an olive branch, damn it. So you're entitled to all my savings now? What the hell? Wait, surely that must mean the $300,000 debt is all yours too, right? I don't have to repay anything, right?
I'm sorry, dear, but I only inherited the savings. I didn't inherit the debt you created.
Huh?
In other words, the debt is yours. Too bad. Your attempt to push into me failed. Good luck with your life of debt repayment.
What do you mean? How is it that you can take all my savings and not get a single cent of the debt? It shouldn't be possible.
Actually, it is possible. Apparently, the condition of property division on our prenup refers specifically to property, and debt, being a negative asset, isn't considered property, so it's not something I have to inherit. Do you get it now? I didn't know the details, so I got the help from a lawyer. Usually, gambling-related issues are a bit of a gray area. You see, gambling debts can be subject to property division because there's a possibility of positive returns if you win big. But in this case, you were doing it behind my back, so I was safe. Since I knew nothing about it, I don't have to inherit it.
It's not fair! God damn it! I could have just carried on gambling a little longer. I thought I could escape from the $300,000 debt. Oh man, what have I done? I just gave you all my money for nothing.
Thanks to that, I'll be able to live comfortably for a while even after the divorce. Well then, enjoy your new lives together. There's no way we can repay $300,000. I properly divided the assets. He's the one who said he'd give up his shares. Besides, I've already used it all, so I can't return it. What? What did you use it all on? I bought a small house. I decided to use all of the savings for that. What did you say? I always dreamed of living in my own house, but Jake was always so stingy, so I had to hold back. So I went ahead and bought a house. It's even more comfortable than I imagined. It's fantastic. Don't mess with me. We're in a situation worse than hell here. Why are you the only one living happily? Oh, is that so? You should know. We started getting more and more debt collection notice towards the end, and one day, the apartment owner saw them. He said that people like Jake aren't welcome to stay in his property. What are we supposed to do now? Why don't you try convincing the owner? You said you changed jobs to a foreign company with a $200,000 salary, right? Tell them that repayment will be easy so they can relax. Like hell he's on a $200,000 salary. It turned out it was all a lie, or rather, he fell for an obvious scam. I never thought Jake could be such an idiot. A scam, you say? Oh, wow, this just keeps getting better. I couldn't write something this hilarious.
Hey, wait a minute.
When he was in a daze after losing money on investments, he got a recruitment email. Apparently, he was transferred $5,000 for interview fees. You've got to be kidding. Why would the one being headhunted pay $5,000 for an interview? And since when does anyone ever pay to be interviewed? He was so preoccupied with the debt that he couldn't think straight. They told him it was normal for foreign companies based in America, and he believed it. He just went ahead and transferred the money. Seriously, Jake, is this true?
Well, I thought it was a great opportunity.
Today was supposed to be his first day at work, but when he went to the building address, there was no company there. That's when he finally realized it was a scam. So you're saying he's an unemployed man with $300,000 in debt? Your husband is in serious trouble.
Shut up! I'm your ex-husband, remember?
We became strangers the moment we divorced. I'm so glad I separated from such a terrible husband. This is infuriating. You're just a pathetic woman who was dumped by him, and yet... and you're a miserable woman with 300,000 of debt. But that's okay. Don't you dare mock me. Come on, hurry up and help us out. We're in financial trouble, so lend us some money. Huh? We've been childhood friends since we can even remember. Of course you won't abandon us, right? No way, that's impossible. I have no intentions of helping you. Goodbye. What? How can you be so cold? It's okay, Sarah. I know you're shocked, but cheer up. Rather, think of this as an opportunity. Don't mess with me. How am I supposed to see this as an opportunity? Don't give such ridiculous advice to someone drowning in debt. But those are the words you said to me earlier when I was in shock about Jake leaving me. You gently encouraged me with those words. Thanks to your advice, I felt a little better back then. That's different. I was just trying to comfort you. And now I'm trying to comfort you. Isn't it funny how things work out?
This isn't funny at all. Not one bit. We're ruined.
Well, that's not my problem anymore. You two made your bed, now lie in it. Emily, please, we really need help. Can't you lend us just a little money to get started? I'm sorry, but no. You betrayed me, both of you. Why should I help you now?
Because we're family. We've known each other for years.
Family doesn't betray each other like this. You're not my family anymore. What about our friendship? Doesn't that mean anything to you? A friendship built on lies isn't a real friendship, Sarah. You pretend to comfort me while stealing my husband. That's not what friends do.
Come on, Emily. Be reasonable. We can work something out, can't we?
There's nothing to work out. The divorce is final. The debt is yours, and I've moved on. That's all there is to it. But what are we supposed to do now? We have nowhere to go. But that's for you to figure out. Maybe you can ask Jake's parents for help.
My parents? They'll kill me if they find out about this.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem to me. Good luck with that. Emily, please, we're begging you. Just a small loan to help us get back on our feet. I've already said no. My decision is final. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a new life to live.
You can't just leave us like this.
Watch me. Oh, and by the way, thanks for the memories and for the house. Goodbye and good luck with your new life together. Emily, wait. No more waiting. I've waited enough. Goodbye, Sarah. Goodbye, Jake. I truly hope you'll be happy together.
This can't be happening.
What are we going to do now, Jake?
I don't know. Maybe we should try talking to my parents after all.
Do you think they'll help us?
They're not gonna be happy, but we don't have much choice, do we?
I guess not. God, how did we end up like this?
I'm sorry, Sarah. I really messed up.
We both did, Jake. We both did. After that, I never heard from the two of them again. According to rumors, they were soon evicted from their apartment and lost their home. With no other choice, they ended up moving in with Jake's parents. Somehow, they managed to get a room in the detached house and are now both job hunting. However, Jake's pride is so high that he's been causing job placement agents a world of trouble, demanding that they quickly introduce me to a company with an annual salary for at least $100,000 with work I enjoy. As a result, as you can probably imagine, he's having trouble finding work. Last I hear, they're currently working part-time at a bar, struggling to cover living expenses and debt repayments.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.